Hi, everybody. How you doing? Confirm that you can hear me. See my screen. Okay, I'm getting trying to get everybody on the call. We're live. All right. So, if you can see my screen, just put I can see my screen. We are live. So, 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 live. All right, you can use the comment section if you can see my screen and you can hear me properly. Hello, okay, who can hear me? Erica Brown, welcome. We can, all right, good. Amazing. So let's just like give like 10, like 5 minutes for others to join. So at 5:05 Nigerian time, I will walk us through what we're going to be discussing today. So we'll pick up from where we left like a month ago. We'll talk about different thing. Oh, the last session. We're going to start from there. So give me a minute, like wait, a minute or two for to get started. Okay. So hello. Saying hi. Godwin is from our cohort, from our G5 cohort. Godwin, welcome. So I just want to have more people because I'm seeing like only 6 people join this live stream. So I want to have like 10 people. And then at 5:05, we'll get started. Yes, like I was saying earlier on, really go through conversation that we had before now. Like just walk through it, like talk about what we need to discuss today. So if you want to join this conversation, please you can get them on the call. This is time for you to get them on the call, and let's get started. Let's have fun. Let's have fun learning. So I'll be waiting. So at 5:05, we are going to get started, and then we're going to get introduction. Erika Brown, I can see you. You come in here a bit. Okay. All right. So let me just give our ground rules for some of us that are just joining for the first time for this stream. So our ground rule is basically this. So if you have any question, so this training to be roughly 2 hours. Roughly 2 hours. It will be up to 2 hours, maybe an hour, 30 minutes at most. Right? So the first 1 hour, I'm going to teach what we're going to be discussing today. I'm going to have the conversation. And at every point in time, if I ask you questions, you can so if you probably have a question or you have a contribution, I can always pin your comment to the screen, right? So and then if you have any question at all, please ask at the end of the session. I will open for us to ask questions. Don't ask questions in between each, so I don't get distracted with the comment section. So ask question at the end of the training. Any question you have, you can put it down somewhere, and then when I say, "Oh, question time," you can ask a question. So for the next 1 hour, I'll be having a conversation, and then you can ask a question after the 1 hour. It means that at 6:05, I'll be opening for 6:05 Nigerian time or floor for us to have conversation, for us to ask our questions. So if you have anybody that wants to join this live stream, please feel free to that Digify to everybody. It's open to everybody. So they send the link to them for them to join. So all you need to do just copy the link at the top of your system or your phone, and then it depends on which browser you're using, and then send to them, and then they're going to be able to join this live stream. So we're going to today about how you can build your brand with social media marketing. And I said that 505 will start. It's exactly 505. I'm going to start. So let's get. All right. So the previous class we discussed about how you can build your business. Not only your business yourself with social media marketing. So we discussed at length, and we stopped at the content calendar thinking. Talk about the content calendar. So I'm going to just walk us through for people that missed the session. Or you can also watch the session on the page. Like I watch the session, the part one on this page 5 page. So if you miss it, you can watch it on the page. I'm going to just walk us through that session. So the last time we met, that was like a month ago, we talk about what is social media marketing. So we talk about what is social media marketing. We talk about the things that you need to we talk about in this training, knowing your audience, find your brand voice, set goals, develop content strategy. That way we stopped. So we talk about content calendar and the likes, centered audience, why you can use tools to know your audience, right? So we talk about that persona, define your ideal audience. We also deep into knowing what a user persona is all about. We give case studies about who user persona is in terms of, oh, these are the people that want to buy your products or your services. And then we give like a scenario or a pseudo user persona for a restaurant. Then we will move on to also talk about finding your brand voice, talk about different brand voice, brand tone. We talk about all this. So we also talk about the different brand voice. Your brand funny, is it casual? How do you want to communicate with your audience? These are the things we talked about the last time. We also move on to talk about setting goals. Not just setting goals, you need to also set smart goals. So you set smart goals for your business, for your brand. I tell people that it's not about just having, it's not about you don't need training or you're not having this watching this just not able to have a business. Maybe you want to be an influencer, maybe you want to be a thought leader in your field. So you must set smart goals for you to be able to build whatever brand or your business. You must set it has to be measurable, it has to be achievable, relevant, and it must have a time to it. It must be time bound. Right. So we talk about all these in depth the last class we had. So I won't dwell more on that. And we also talk about how you can evaluate your smart marketing goals. You need to define what your smart marketing goal is, your marketing challenges. That I think we discussed in our earlier classes. So we talk about the fact that you need to craft content that speaks to your toward speaking to your audience. For some of us that are in our program, you're already getting to know what content are, what you need for you to create a document. For people that are on this journey, so what content strategy is about getting that product, getting that services, talking about that service and products in different formats, whether in video, whether through graphic design, whether through educational content to your audience. That's what it means by content strategy that we're talking about. Go about this content strategy framework. We talk about how you need to define your goal, conduct a personal research, like we said, run a content audit on the brand's page, choose which place you want to actually have your content, and based on the content, different content ideas, refine, rank your content ideas into the one that makes sense. Then we also about publishing your content. So these are what we discussed. And we move on to talking about content calendar. What is content calendar? So what that content calendar is strategic planning tools used by different people to organize and segment their content across different social media. So we talk about all this in depth. And then we stopped the last time we met. We stopped at content calendar. That is an example of a content calendar. That will stop. So today, talking about other things that make you start in building your business online or even building yourself online. So what I think that makes you stand out again. So one of the things that we'll talk about is being consistent. So it's not enough to post content. It's not enough for you to have good content. You also want to make sure that it's you are posting consistently. Like I used to say in my classes, consistency is not about, oh, you want to post from Monday to Friday or from Tuesday to Wednesday or whatever. So you want to have an audit on your brand, on your page, either on Facebook, on Instagram, on whatever platform that your brand is. You want to make sure that you go there in the insight. So, for example, on Instagram, when you go on insights, they need to tell you that, oh, this is at the time that your audience are online, right? So when they give you that time frame that, oh, your audience are online within so period of time, you need to know how you want to post consistently. So consistently does not mean that you are posting um, every day. You want to look at it and say, oh, as a brand, our audience are online on weekends. So every weekend you are consistently posting. So people are always looking forward to your post. They are always looking for not just about even the day, even the time frame. Look at I give different example of different content creators, different people that post online. Look at Akoko Doctor, for example. You could see from his content every morning before 8 oftentimes the content is out. So you want to study this, you want to study your own brand too, or your own personality. If you're trying to build a top of the mind person, you want to be an influencer. You want to look at it and say, okay, let me check my insights and see when are people actually engaging with my content to know the time I'll be posting end for. So when you understand that, you understand when your audience are engaging with you, you want to be consistently posting. So high content makes people notice your brand, but consistency makes them remember it. You can post good quality, but if you post today and you go to bed and you come back 2 weeks ago to post, people might not remember your brand. Like like today now, the last time we had this conversation, we had this class was a month ago. So for me to be able to still keep ourselves fresh, I had to go back and say, okay, let me go back to the very beginning so that I can explain the whole thing all over again. And then some people that are just joining newly, or people that even joined the last class, will not look confused and say, oh, what am I saying? Right? So for people that are just joining now, what we are talking about is how you can build your brand using social media marketing. And then we've talked about different things earlier on about smart goals, about content calendar, content strategy, about knowing your audience. So the next thing we're talking about is being consistent. You need to be consistent. So when you understand, when you already have your content calendar, so your content calendar help you to be consistent because this is actually a plan. Don't forget my earlier slide I showed you. We talk about the content calendar being a strategic planning. So that makes you consistent. You're able to plan a week content, a month content, a quarter content, depending on how you brainstorm or how you research on your audience. So it's not enough for you to post high quality content. You want to be consistent because we are constantly posting. When you look at all these our Instagram creators, the comedians on Instagram, you can see that the people that are not consistent, you don't hear from them again. People that are consistent, you are always hearing from you. The most so for you to stay relevant, for you to take top of the mind, you must post consistently. And consistency does not mean that you have to post from Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday. You want to look at it and say, when are my audience engaging with this brand? And for you to know that at every brand page or every page you created on, whether an Instagram account, business page, or a Facebook page, there's an insight there for look at the time that audience are engaging with your brand. So we want to make sure that so what will constant do for you? So constant makes people maintain a regular posting schedule to stay top of mind. So when you post constantly, you are at the top of mind of people. Consent also build trust and help you to informing a loyal follower community. So when you are posting consistently, don't forget, I said consistency does not mean that you have to be posting every day. Know the time that your audience engage with you. 3 times in a week, fine. If it's just once in a week that audience engage with you, you want to constantly post on that day and time that they engage with you. So when you are constantly doing this, you build trust. It helps you in forming a loyal follower community. So also it create content calendar for organizing scheduling. So like I made mention earlier, for you to be consistent, you must create a content calendar for you to be able to be consistent. When you create a content calendar, you can see the flow of everything you want to post in a week, in a month. So moving on, what are the other things that will help you build your brand using social media marketing? The other thing you need to also know, aside from consistency, is working with influencers. So how do you work with influencers? Very, very important. is working with influencer. So there are different grade of influencer. There is a micro, there is a macro, there is a nano, there is a micro. So you want to look at it and reach and engage with a broader audience. So working influencer is good, but you must do it in a way that makes sense. For example, let's say my brand is selling I would have said you should put in the chat. So give me a band, let's say probably your sister band, your neighbor, or anybody you know at all, and then we'll determine together in the chat, determine together which influencer in the Nigerian market you want to work with. So you want to look at it and say, okay, oh, this is my brand. So you want to look at your brand and say, okay, how much does my brand in a quarter, in a year? And then which influencer I want to engage. Uh, let's say, for example, since I'm not seeing any chats, I'm not seeing any comments in the chat. Let's for example, my brand is selling table water for example, I'm selling water for example, and then we are making like let's say in profits, we're making in naira, we're making like 5 million per month or 6 million per month, right? So I want to look at it and say, okay, which person do I want to engage with, which influencer I want to engage with, and like I told you earlier on that there are different grade of influencer. There is a micro, there is a macro, there is a nano. So from the macro are the one that are big that collects certain millions of naira. There is a micro that collects maybe thousands, and there is a nano that collects maybe some thousands, like lower than that micro. So you look at it and say, oh, based on my company's budget or what we can afford, which brand you want to work with, you look at budget. It's very essential. You look at the company you are working with, or you as a brand. What is the budget? So when you know the budget, you know which influencer. When you know the budget, you'll be able to determine which influencer you want to engage. And then aside from the budget, you want to look at, does the influencer have your audience? So let's say I was saying earlier on that my company is producing water. I'm going to say which influencer talk about water every time in the Nigerian space, Nigerian market. And then the one that will come to my mind is Liz, a doctor. Every time he tells us to drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water. So I already know that he has an audience listening to him to drink water. So for him, for me working with Apple Doctor, one will determine my budget, right? Is a micro influencer, is for him to influence my brand, he has to collect a huge amount of money. So I want to come and say, can my company have this? Yes, take it. My company can afford it. Does he have my target audience? Does he speak about my target audience? Yes, it does. Then take that. Let's say my company is a gym. So you want to look at all this. I'm not a gym company. Who are the people that talk about gym, about staying fit, and say, oh, you also just work with influencers to just market your product. Fine, it's good because particular niche of the product, right? It's not enough for them to have large audience. They might have large audience, but do they have that niche you are working towards? Fine, they might get your products outside there. People get to know about your product, but will they get that niche? You get the audience you are needing. Like I was telling in one of my earlier classes that not everybody, even if you are as good as water is, not everybody will buy water. Not everybody will take water, right? You may say, water is a thing that everybody need. Some people don't need water. They don't want water. So the difference between need and water. People will say whether take maybe soft drink or whether take wine to be water. So it depends if you are taking long-term prosperity. Not everybody is your audience. So you want to carry and say, okay, fine. Who is this I'm working with? Is that my audience? So you want to leverage on that. So collaborate with micro influencer for authentic and targeted reach. So when it comes to influencer, because you have large number of following, you're able to reach more people. Don't forget, we're talking about how you can build your brand using social media marketing. So we are in the midst of talking about working with influencers. So how do you work with influencers? How do you do working with influencers right? Also, you want to leverage on influencer credibility to enhance your brand image. You want to carry and say, okay, does this influencer have the credibility? When they post something, do people believe them? Or people just... So you want to look at it. So you want to do what we call audit, influencer audit. Look at their comment section. Look at what they have been posting in the past and how people are reacting to it. You see them credible. You see them as people that they can actually trust when they're advertising, when they are putting your product out there. When they have huge number of followers, you want to do audits to see are they credible to market or to get your product or to get you out there. Enough. Think about see that does this influencer align with our brand values? Does it align with what we stand for as a brand? I want to look at it and say, do they align with your brand values? Do they align with your brand voice, your brand tone? Do they communicate what you stand for as a brand? It will be wrong for you now to now say, oh, yes, this one is recorded Augustina. It's recorded. You can always get the recording session on YouTube. So it will be wrong for you now to now say, oh, the person wants to. It will be wrong for you now to now say, okay, you want to use Akoko Doctor to advertise soft drink, soda, because it's always pushing against it. It's value and your value does not align. So you look at it and say, does this influencer align with our value? So moving on, you can ask question later. So how do you now do strategy around influencer? How do you make sure that you get the right influencer for your brand or for any or for yourself as a business, or get the right influencer, or you as a person become the right influencer for brand, right? So how do you do it? So developing an effective influencer market strategy involves significant following in your target audience. You want to look at it and say, oh, how do I show when you're coming with your strategy and say, okay, you want to have a rationale for choosing that influencer, right? So you want to have a rationale for choosing the influencer. You want to look at it and say, okay, fine, planning, I've done audit on the influencers, they have our followings, they are credible, they are aligned with brand values. The next thing you want to also look at is that do they also have a significant following? So rather than say, because you want to look at it and say, because I said set smart goals. So for people that were in this earlier session, you want to set goals. I mean, you want to put a number to it. You know, already know the number of people you want to target. You already know your objective. So your objective can be in different for you. I mean, oh, for awareness sake or for you to sell. So you already know. So what you can say, it will be wrong for you now to want to sell like 100 products, or let's say like 5,000 products, and you're going to meet an influencer that has 2,000 followers. It will be wrong for you. So to look at it and say, okay, fine, based on my objective, does this influencer have the number of followings that will likely buy my product? So, and then not all their followers will buy. So you want to look at it and say, at what percentage you want to do this mock-up? If someone have 10K follower, you know that all the 10,000 people will buy the products. If your objective is for you to sell the product to their audience, because in best case scenario, maybe 10% or 15% will buy the product, 10,000 people. So you want to make sure that you are getting to understand this thing, you are getting to know the strategy around it. Don't say, this person has each number of followers, or to be the right person to sell our product. It's not only about the followers, it's all about does they align with your brand values. So you need to plan. So when you are doing influencer marketing strategy, it's bigger than following, it's bigger than them even talking about your niche, right? It's more about you carefully planning, researching, auditing, looking at the influencer, looking at what they post, looking at the comment section. Are they credible? Do you find them credible? Who does when they comment when they post something, people are just making gist or just in the chat or in the comment section, and then they are not making sense. People are just maybe advertising in the comment section. It's not about them just cutting. So you might just look at it and say, so recently, a friend of mine was like, oh, you want to have influencer? And they were like, oh, I'll have this about this influencer. He has 10,000 comments, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, fine. And I was like, did you check the comments? Like, you check what people are saying. And when we later check what people are saying, like, most people that are commenting on the post was not even something relevant to the post. They're just making gist, chit-chatting, like, they're just fighting in the comment section. Imagine that influencer advertising for your brand. Imagine that influencer being the face of a brand, being the one out there and saying, oh, buy these products. Do you think people will listen to you? That means you have wasted money. You have wasted money because you're going to give the influencer money. You have wasted money to do that, and that can be actually be avoided if you have done your strategy in the first place. If you have researched. So you want to understand your target demographics and choose the influencer who followers align with your ideal customer profile. So you want to know your audience. It can be overstretched. We talked about our last class. Know your audience, and then you want to also look at the influencers. You want to look at your audience align with the influencer follower. So with your ideal customer profile. So ideal customer profile is a user persona. So you already know is my user persona? Does this influencer have it? Oh, good. Then you want to research and select the influencer. Research is not only about just checking their number of comments, checking the number of followers. You want to also deep dive into knowing what people are saying in the comment section. Whenever they post the content, are people posting something, or they're just chit chatting or gisting, or they're fighting in the comment section? It's essential that you know this thing. And you want to also clearly define in terms of collaboration. So you want to, because when you're having an influencer, you're putting influencer trying to document together, you want to also define in terms of collaboration. Is it going to be a compensation? What are the deliverables? What are the timeline? And then you also want to look at it and say, how do we measure? How do you measure that this influencer have really work? Or how do you measure that this influencer has really done the job that we gave the person? So there are several ways to do it. There are ways that you can measure. You can create an hyperlink whereby the people put on their profile, and then people click on that link. You can measure that, okay, these people that are dropping on our website, buying our product, this is where they are coming from. They are coming from this influencer. You can measure that. We also implement tracking tools, like I said, to know whether the influencer is also working. We want to actually track and be able to monitor whether the money you spend on the influencer is actually paying off. So that's the different way to create your influencer marketing strategy. I would like to ask if we are following. Are we following at all? So you just put yes in the comment. If you are following, just put yes. I just want to be sure that we are following. If you are following, just put yes in the comment. If you understand, just put yes in the comment. All right. So moving on. So how do you now? So we talked about different things in this class so far. We talk about how you can know your audience, about setting smart goals, talk about creating user persona, talk about content strategy. We've talked about how you can have a content calendar, and we talk about how you can also be posting consistently, right? We talk about all these things. So I can be posting consistently. And recently, not quite long ago, we talk about how you can also work with influencer. How do you work with influencer? We talk about all these things. So you want to look at these things. So what are the next thing that you want to do? You want to look at, what are the platform? What are the strategies, various platforms? So there are various strategies on that platform. The last class I asked, which one are we familiar with? And now people are putting, this, that, familiar with this, that, familiar with that, they're familiar with this, they're familiar with that. And so I will talk, the next thing we're talking about is how you can also do strategy around different platforms. How you can have different strategy around different platforms. So we talk about platform strategy. So what are the platforms that you can leverage on? What are the strategy you can use in various platforms? So social media is not one size fits all. It's like most of us that are on this call will agree with me, right? So it might not be what you are going to be doing with them when it comes to TikTok, right? What you are doing with your audience on is now X. So that, because every platform has its own unique. Like for Instagram now, Instagram is good for pictures, it's good for videos, right? It's more of a professional platform. X is more of a platform that is good text. So you want to look at all these things. So you want to look at how do you want to promote your services, your ideas, according platforms. So various platforms involve Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, Snapchat, TikTok, depending on your audience. Don't forget, in our earlier class, I said your audience will determine which platform you want to base on. Right? If you're at Gen Z, you have no business really on Facebook because few of the Gen Z are on Facebook. Where are they? Instagram, because there are people that are picture freak. They want to post picture, they want to post video of their new shoes, their new clothes. They're on TikTok, making TikTok videos. They're on Snapchat. So this is where they are. So you want to look at how you can leverage on platform strategy to actually work with your marketing goals or your social media marketing goals. So, so you want to promote your products and services, you must also learn platform strategy. How do you use different platforms for what and what is not? So that's what we're talking about next. Please give me a minute. Okay. So engage with your audience through interactive posts. That's posts like you can engage with, make them to react, things that will make them to comment. And don't forget, all in the won't comment, just read past. Utilize Facebook ad. Facebook ad, you can also utilize Facebook ad to reach more people. Right? Sure, or your video content are not blurry, they are high quality content. Right? Because Instagram is for pictures, it's for video. You want to make use of the Instagram story for real time engagement. There are different various content you can post on your Instagram stories. So when you plan your content calendar, you can post. So it's not be wrong for you to not put your giveaway on X, on Twitter. It's a good place, but I would say, oh, use it now. Okay, I think Twitter has a story, right? They have a story that you can also make use of. But oftentimes, you want to make sure that you are putting your things that are within 24 hours, things that you know that they are real time. You want to post them in your Instagram stories. You're having an opinion poll, or you want to get people feedback, you are putting that in your Instagram story because that's where you can get engagement. That's where you can get real life engagement with people. So you want to make use of Instagram as when it comes to that. Then LinkedIn is where you can also share your company insights, update because it's professional. So you want to make sure that you are using LinkedIn for such things. So these are different things you can post that of content, or you can use in different platform strategies. It will be wrong or it will not be too good to now be posting about your company inside updates on Instagram or Facebook because LinkedIn is more professional where you can post those things. So you want to connect with professionals to build your network. LinkedIn is a place for you to do that. So that's the difference. So what I'm saying in essence is that every platform has its own uniqueness, and you want to harness that uniqueness when you are planning your content calendar. For most of us that are in the Divide Pro, in the current cohort, you have a brief at hand. You want to carry and say, okay, fine. Oh, this content, where can it go? Which platform is best suited for this content? So you want to look at it. Let's say you are you are raising fund, you want to connect with more professionals. You want to connect with more professionals in terms of internal professionals, internal holder for the thing you are working on. The place to put some content might be LinkedIn because they are there. They are professional. They are there looking at that, looking at their LinkedIn often and often. So you want to put some content on LinkedIn compared to them putting on social media. So when you want to share a side biz updates about your company, maybe oh you are probably live on Instagram, you are going to be live on Space, you can always put that on Twitter. Or you want to trend conversation like we did, I think a week ago or two, like we did in Digital Pro, that we trended about starting of the program. So you can always do that on Twitter. So Twitter is a place for you to trend. You can trend on Twitter other than every other platform, right? So you can trend on Twitter, you want to trend conversation, people to get to know you, for brand awareness. Twitter is one place for you to do that. Then you want to be able to use ads strategically for you to be able to rank better. So when you come online again, best place to use hashtag for better visibility. Fine. For Instagram, you can also use hashtag because you will feature on the explore page. But when you have an hashtag that you are using strategically, that can make you trend, that can make you have a more visibility on Twitter compared to Instagram or compared to Facebook, right? So we want to also tailor content to each platform uniqueness. So every platform has their own uniqueness, like I mentioned earlier. So you want to make sure that you're tailoring that content across all platforms. You don't want to now be posting high quality images on Twitter. No, it will be yeah, it's good, right? But Twitter is more of text more than images. You want to look at all these different platforms. So it's essential for you to look at the platform, look at their uniqueness, look at the platform and the uniqueness has to come from you knowing your audience, right? Knowing your audience, we know your audience. Look at TikTok. It's wrong for you to now be writing one episode on TikTok. You want to make sure that maybe you want to join trending videos or trending things in terms of videos. Like what is trending now so far is, of course I do this, of course I did that, and that is majorly on TikTok. So you can do that for your brand if you align with your brand goals. You can do that for them on TikTok. You can do that for them on Snapchat because that is where it's trending. That is where trending videos about things happening or jumping on trend in terms of video content is majorly featured on. And then on Instagram. So you want to look at all these, you want to look at the platform uniqueness. So it's essential for you to look at all these things. So you're able to plan your content strategically. You need to have your calendar in a way that you are repurposing content across different platforms and say, oh, these are content that we did for Instagram that is picture based. Let's say you talk about 8 benefits of water, a water company, 8 benefits of water to your body, and then you did a carousel image on Instagram. When you want to do that same thing for Twitter, Twitter does not give room for carousel. You can do a set text. You can you can make sure that base, you can use a text base and then be able to to measure, to be able to write all those things out. You cannot say, oh, every reporter, one, and then you have text for each of these things instead of having design and then putting on Twitter and just placing the design on Twitter. People read more on Twitter when it comes to text than looking at design. But when it comes to Instagram, people are fascinated by the design, by the aesthetics compared to Twitter. You want to look at all these things and be able to uh, look at the platform and not just posting any, not just saying, oh, people are not engaging my content. So understanding platform strategy is very, very important. So let's move on. Wisdom, I'm going to answer a question after the class. So we should talk about different things. The next thing we'll talk about is how can you engage your audience? How can you engage your audience? So engaging your audience is you have to do it in a strategic way, right? This means actively involving interaction, connection between a brand and business, that audience, whatever. This is just English. Engaging with your audience is essential for you if you actually want to build your brand using social media marketing. Uh, Most of you will ask questions on our page, we answer it, right? So it is wrong for you to, just like a normal business, just like a normal business, you don't for a customer to, or a follower to ask a question and then you are putting them on hold. So you want to make sure that you engage with your audience. You are replying to that content. Maybe a comment is good, you want to like it. You don't have to comment every time. You have to reply comment every time. You want to make sure that you are replying, you are liking our comments, one that makes sense, you want to ask questions, you are replying their comments. You can take it to the DM. The reason for taking to the DM is that so that they don't probably start having other comments that other people will see, or their maybe for sensitive information, for example. Maybe they want to drop their bank details or some certain things. So you want to make sure that certain comments you are taking them to DM. That's the essence of taking them. When someone asks a question and say, oh, how much is the price of the water? How much is the price of the shoe? So that other people can see it also. You don't have to be messaging you in your DM. You can put that, it's a general knowledge. Put it in the first place as a business. Put your price on whatever thing you are posting. It's essential. So I don't have to ask you, oh, how much is it? So when someone asks that question, by eventually you omitted it by mistake or by intentional. When someone asks the question, don't say, oh, check your DM. Because every other person too wants to know the price for them to be able to buy. So you want to make sure that they are applying such comments. But it's comments about a personal comment, like a personal thing that they ask, you want it to DM. But it's not personal, it's a general thing. So it's a difference. So it's not enough managing audience, not enough things that works. Right? If I ask a brand how much is a particular product, I took my time to ask how much. You are meant to even tell me the price in the first place, whether in your caption or in your design, but you probably did not do it because maybe price connotation, right? And then you are asked in the comment, please, if you're managing a brand page, advise them, never take it to the DM. Other people want to know the price. If the price change, tell the customer, oh, if another customer asks, oh, but he commented that his price is 15,000 naira. Yes, it was 15,000 naira last week, but this week is now 17,000 naira because of the price of whatever that have increased. Make them aware, not that every time you are asking them, check your DM, check your DM. Other people too want to know. At that point that someone is checking, other people want to know whether they're going to be able to afford it. And they want to find a sense of community by actually having relevant conversation. this you can see that we, for people that are in our program, we do want to fight for community, we want to have conversation. It's not enough for us just teaching this thing. We also want to have that conversation. We also want to have that sense of community. And then you also humanize your brand by showing genuine interest in your audience. So you don't want to just be selling products. You want to humanize your brand. You want to, maybe someone did a lingua, like did a lingua of, oh, we will not grieve for you, for example. You can also imply with lingua as they play. You can see different brand. You can see them being playful sometimes. But all that depends on your brand also. If your brand is a serious one, please be serious. Be serious and also be human. So because your brand is going to be human, you're now being playful when your brand is a serious brand. Please, it should be people, some of the audience will see it as being rude. So but if your brand is playful, please be playful. So humanizing your brand does not mean that you have to be playful. Humanizing your brand means that you should communicate with your audience in a way that you understand. You want to communicating in a way that you don't understand. So it's essential for you to communicate with your audience in a way they understand. All right, give me a minute. Okay, let's continue. So moving on, towards the last thing we'll be talking about is you uh, understanding your target audience, right? Understanding your target audience, humanizing your brand, and this is the point where I will ask if you have any questions. So the question I see on my screen, let me put it there. Just give me a minute. Is wisdom. Wisdom. Okay. All right. Wisdom is saying, please, sir, which tool can we use to monitor influence? So you can use GA. So GA is Google Analytics. So Google Analytics, you can use it to monitor. You can use to monitor the influencer. You can use to monitor if influencer has already done a bit of their work. You can also look at. It depends on your. So it depends on your objective. So let's say your objective is for you to sell the product. So you can create an hyperlink. An hyperlink is you creating a link on on your website, on your website, create a link on your website that leads to your landing page of the product that you want them to buy. And then give it to influencer to put on their profile or where they want to put it. So that link is unique to them, right? So whenever they on that link, right, everybody that click on that link and buy the product, you can see where they are coming from. where they are coming from. So that is creating an hyperlink. I one way to measure an influencer. Another way to measure an influencer is also to derive a strategy about, and okay, let's say you, you want to market a product. You want people to sign up for a product, to download an app, and then credit them with uh, probably a welcome bonus or anything. You can also actually give an influencer that kind of thing and say, okay, oh, we want 10,000 people to download an app, and then how do we measure this? We're mainly measure because when someone downloaded, they are going to see a message, and they are going to credit them using your own unique code. So you see people saying, oh, you see influencer, for example, saying, oh, use my code, use my code, use my code. So another way to also measure influencer is by code, right? Is by code, is by looking at uh, giving them code, creating a unique code for them, so that when someone to check out, they can put that code to give them discount. So these are various ways where you can actually measure. So I will drop the link to the various resources in the chat, right? I will drop that while we are. So if you have any other question, you can ask. Can we see or hear me? So the second part of the class is going to be so short, but we have room to answer questions, to ask questions. So this is time when you can ask your questions, and then I'll be glad to welcome and answer them. Any other question, you can put your question in the chat. All right, all right, all right, all right. Let me see if I can share. If I can share the resources. I want to share resources with all. So these are the resources that the place website you can look for different things I've talked about in this slide. I can look at and check out. Maybe at your own leisure. Hold on, give me a minute. Let me see if I can. Let me see. Let me see. Let me copy them. and it's sent to you. Uh, um, so you can see as a question. Anybody have a question, you can still drop it, and then we'll be closing. We'll be ending the session at 6. See this. If you have any question, please ask now.